Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. And today I'd like to show you a magnificent Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso. And this is a really interesting piece. This is a piece I saw in Brisbane Vintage Watches recently. And it's an interesting thing because it's a Reverso, it's on a Jaeger-LeCoultre bracelet, and the most interesting thing is it's actually in two-tone. That's right, it's steel and gold. And it's interesting how they've done this. The actual Reverso head, the case, is all in 18 karat yellow gold, and the bracelet is actually in steel and gold. It's got two stripes of gold in the bracelet. So it's an interesting way they've done this. And I'm fascinated. I would have thought if they were making a two-tone piece, they would have had half the case in steel and half the case in gold. But the entire head itself, including the crown, the inner part of the Reverso and the external part of the Reverso, it's all in 18 karat yellow gold. So it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. It would be an expensive watch. This is not a cheap piece. It's a little bit smaller than what is sort of acceptable. I think this is the classique size, which is the traditional men's Reverso, and it's a great looking piece. It's been at Brisbane Vintage Watches for a couple of weeks, and I think the only reason it hasn't sold is because it's a wee bit small by modern standards. But that's not to say it's not a fantastic Reverso. It is a great Reverso, and I really, really love it. It's a simple two-hand Reverso, and it's just classic. I think this is a great piece, and I love it. I think it's just beautiful. Precious metal is fantastic, and it's just nice to see one of these things in the flesh here. You don't see that many Reversos in Brisbane for sale, so in that regards there, it certainly is something unique. But it's interesting how they've tackled the two-tone thing there. So the whole head of the watch is solid gold, and it's interesting. You look at Rolex; they've got a certain way of doing two-tone. They've got bits in the bracelet are gold, the crown is gold, and the bezel is gold. Everything else is steel. On an Audemars Piguet, when they were doing Royal Oaks in gold, it was the bracelet had gold in the bracelet as well as the steel. The bezel was gold, but the crown was steel, very discreet two-tone. Whereas the Reverso, the whole head is in 18 karat yellow gold. So, yes, it's two-tone, but it's more 75% gold than steel. So it's an amazing way they've done it. It's certainly not a cheap way to do a two-tone watch, that's for sure. Normally when they make a two-tone, they're trying to get as little gold in as possible to give it a gold look, whereas this here has got a lot of gold in the piece. It's just the bracelet which is two-tone. So it's very fascinating how this maker has done it. But I gotta say, it's a very, very good looking watch, and it's a fantastic addition if you are a Reverso nut, and very, very fascinating. So there we go. That's the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso, and I think it's a great piece. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think of this magnificent two-tone Reverso. Hello fuckers, Archie Luxury here. Very, very simple bit of advice. If you're in Brisbane, Australia, and you're looking for a wristwatch, either new or used, or you're looking for a wristwatch repair, come and see my friends at Brisbane Vintage Watches. These are good fuckers to deal with. They're honest, they're enthusiasts, they love watches, and they'll look after you. And best of all, they're one of the best dealers I know of. And I really love the guys at Brisbane Vintage Watches. So fuckers, if you're looking for a wristwatch in Brisbane town, Australia, please contact my friends at Brisbane Vintage Watches. See you later, fuckers.